Habit number 3. Are good grades a goal or an outcome? So far we've talked about the importance of liking what you study and about commitment to success. Now let's talk about grades and more specifically why we go to school. Of course, you're watching this because you want to know how to become a top student in college or at university. But let me ask you this. What's your primary goal when you study? Do you study simply to score an A? Or do you study to become competent in your future profession? Of course, in your quest for A's, you can always look for shortcuts, try to outsmart the educational system, and figure out the simplest trick that will get you an easy A. But most of the time, hunting for such shortcuts doesn't get us the results we want. Neither does it get us real knowledge. I can tell you from experience that a much more fulfilling way to study is to put grades aside and go for the knowledge. Then good grades follow as a logical outcome. For you to see what I mean, I'll tell you a story. I moved to Canada from Ukraine as a teenager and was fortunate enough to be admitted to a university business program with an entrance scholarship. In order to maintain my scholarship, though, I had to take a full course load in the first semester. And that would have been okay if not for a language barrier I had. You see, since I was new to the country, my ears were still adapting to understanding spoken English, and there were many words that were still missing in my vocabulary. So even though I diligently attended every lecture, I couldn't understand much of what's been said in class. I would come out from the auditorium having understood about 20% of what the professor had just explained. Do you think my goal at that time was to get straight A's? No! First of all, it was a new educational system, different from what I knew in Ukraine. Also, it was an unfamiliar subject, business, which I was never exposed to before. Plus, my knowledge of English wasn't all there. To top it all off, I couldn't have a reduced course load because of my scholarship. So all I wanted is to do my best and survive that first semester. I was just thinking of hopefully passing with B's, and I'd be happy. However, there was something that I had going for me. I was very interested in business and was driven to learn all I could about it. I was committed to making it in the new country no matter what. As I had no one to count on but myself for my future in Canada, I knew my success was up to me. So I pushed through. I'd come home after lectures, having barely understood anything in class, then would open up my textbook and a dictionary and would translate textbook word by word, then learn the material from scratch. Thus, despite all odds, the A student in me, the study discipline that was deeply engraved in me since childhood, persevered. That's why we're dedicating the first part of this course to developing a top student mindset. Your mindset is the core of your success in anything you do, under any circumstances. How do you think I did that first semester? In the end, for the 5 courses, I ended up with 2 A+, 2 A-, and 1 A, and landed in the Dean's Honor List. What I'd like you to get from this is that these excellent grades were simply a side effect of all the commitment, all the passion, and the desire to become competent in my future profession. I didn't say to myself, I'm going for the Dean's Honor List this semester. It wasn't even on my mind. My success just happened as an outcome of my efforts to do the best I could despite the challenge. I hope hearing my story shows you that being a top student is possible, no matter your situation and circumstances right now. Here are key takeaways from this lesson. When studying, focus on learning, acquiring knowledge, and becoming competent in your future career. which you should be excited about. Don't get fixated too much on grades. Think of grades as a natural outcome of your inspired effort. Remember, even if the grades don't turn out the way you'd like, the knowledge you acquire is yours to keep and serve you in the future.